In breaking news, as reported by the BBC and Sky News, Paula Vennels has agreed to hand back her CBE. This, of course, following the petition that I covered on this channel, which received 1.2 million votes to that effect. And, of course, you'll remember that the Prime Minister himself, Rishi Sunak, said that he would strongly support the Honours Committee if they looked at revoking her CBE. So it looked very much likely that that was going to proceed in that direction, and also very likely that that might have been the result. Now, Paula Vennels, you'll recall, was the CEO of the Post Office at the time of the Horizon scandal, which saw many hundreds of sub-postmasters wrongfully prosecuted and ultimately many of whom were sent to prison and had their lives devastated. Paula Vennels has made a statement to this effect, saying that she continues to support and focus on cooperating with the inquiry and expects to be giving evidence in the coming months. She also said that she has so far maintained her silence as she considers it inappropriate to comment publicly while the inquiry remains ongoing and before she provides oral evidence. This, of course, is a perfectly valid position to hold. She goes on further to say that she is also aware of the calls from sub-postmasters and others to return the CBE. She says, "I have listened and I confirm that I return my CBE with immediate effect." She goes on, "I am truly sorry for the devastation caused to the sub-postmasters and their families whose lives were torn apart by being wrongly accused and wrongly prosecuted as a result of the Horizon system." She says, "I now intend to continue focusing on assisting the inquiry and will not make any further public comment until it has concluded." Sky News reports that while honours can only be forfeited to the King, a recipient can renounce theirs voluntarily. And this involves ceasing to refer to themselves with the title while they go through the process of getting it annulled by the monarch. Now, what I will also say is that many people might take this as a full admission of liability for some sort of wrongdoing in that position, but it is very much not that at this stage, at the very least. What she has done, quite rightly in my view, is listen to the public call for the return of her CBE, because ultimately she was in charge of the Post Office at the time. But this is not and should not be confused with an admission of liability of any sort. Of course, liability may be confirmed at some stage, and ultimately she was responsible for the Post Office at that time. So I too cannot really say too much whilst the inquiry is ongoing. But what I can say is that this should not be confused with a full admission of liability to that effect. Of course, the work is ongoing for all of the other sub-postmasters, and this may very well be one of the first times that we see a pardoning en masse of a huge group of people that have been wrongly prosecuted and wrongly convicted. Ministers say that they are urgently working on the detail of how to clear the names of the postmasters as quickly as possible, and further details will be announced in due course. That's it for now. I will come back as and when there are further updates. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe for more.